Here we go.
Hey everybody, Kat here.
Darren.
And we just figured we would do a video for you guys today with regards to some decisions that I've made for myself and I guess my journey in the fitness industry. So most recently I've won, what?
Go ahead.
Most recently, I did the Sudbury Classics and I did really well. So, and because of that, it afforded me the opportunity to move on to provincials. So, which is a truly exciting opportunity and I'm really jacked about it. However, after some...
well, let's back up a little bit. Let's give them some history, right? So, you're looking at me like, where am I going with this? So, you know what, like you are kind of an inspiration for so many people. And I know you're probably not going to like where I'm going with this, but you know, it's true. I mean, you get numerous amounts of emails, private messages, DMs. If people are asking you, how do you do it? How do you do it from fitness, for food, for love, for relationships, for everything? For people are messaging you and asking you for private advice.
Right.
And you're kind of saying the same things over and over again. And then there's so many people out there that, you know, don't even have the courage to message you. And then they actually message me. How does Kat do it? Tell me her secret. Tell me this, tell me that. And they're like it's a secret. I'm like, well, why don't you ask Kat? You know, well,
there really is no secret.
Yeah, but they're too shy to ask or they don't want to say anything. But for everybody that reaches out, there's got to be like hundreds of people that don't reach out to you.
Right.
Because like we all follow people on YouTube and we don't message, we don't we don't say anything, but we listen to what they have to say. So here's we thought we'd put out a platform here that we could share your journey, where you're going, where we're going, and just have a lot of fun with it. And this is going to be our vlog, right? So this is vlog number 1. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. It's going to be off the cuff and
yeah, and really, it's just going to be because I've been afforded the opportunity to move on to provincials, which is something that I'm going to work towards for next year. But I'm going to actually take you guys along my journey, so you're going to be able to see all areas of my life. So, because anybody who follows my Kat's Healthy and Happy page knows that I'm all about balance. So, and just nutrition. I think that's so important. And I love to work out. It's truly a passion of mine. And I've been successful in those areas because I'm very careful with who I surround myself with. So, and I've got some key players that have really helped me get to where I am today and will, help me get to where I want to be for next year. So anyways, these vlogs are going to be about you guys coming along my journey because you guys are sending me the messages with regards to, the food, the workouts, the balance, and really it's no secret. One thing I will definitely say to all of you is that, from the very beginning of the journey, it's all about, stages and steps. Like it's happened over a course of time. And I think what people tend to forget is anything that's sustainable happens over time. And I think that's just, we all have to learn the art of patience and gratitude for the amazing person that you are. So from the very beginning of my journey, which I'm going to say maybe happened about 5 years ago. Yeah,
and I think what's important to know is like we go back and look at our photos and everyone's looking for this kind of quick fix, this miracle drug. Like, what do you kind of take? And we look back at your photos, you've been training every year and you've been like, there's like these smallest little gains, but it was like the compounded.
And it's tweaks, right? It's, sometimes it's, it's somebody that was introduced and, helped me or tweaked one little area, or somebody that introduced me to another individual that also impacted me. And sometimes it was just my personal health, and then my own research that I put into the nutrition end.
Yeah, but your movement into this has been like so slow and gradual.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where it never really showed, but until you go back at photos, you're like, holy cow, like look at the changes when you compare like 5 years ago to now, right?
Yeah, and that's why comparison pictures are so important, right?
Yeah, and these quick fixes never work.
No.
I mean, they don't work.
Absolutely not.
And what a lot of people don't know. Like we have so many people that message me like, what kind of drugs are you on? You're not on any drugs. Okay, let's get that out of the way, right?
Let's use not drugs, like supplements or
well,
whatever.
supplements. Okay.
And not that there's anything wrong with supplements. I'm just saying that I personally don't take them. I am the power of the plant type individual. And that's just simply because that's where my beliefs lie. That's it.
And you're mostly organic for the most part.
Yeah,
but
I'm as organic as I can be.
But that doesn't mean you're not human. You have pizza, you have chips, you have cake,
chocolate, wine.
Yeah, and you live, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, we're not going to restrict anything, right? And it's just balance. And what's probably not coming across on camera right now is like you love life, you smile, you're happy. You know, you wake up in the morning.
It's not coming across camera.
Well, no, it's coming across. But you have.
I hope it is.
You have fun. You dance when nobody's looking at you, and you dance.
Well, I dance when people are.
Yeah, you dance people. But you're crazy. Yeah. You have a lot of fun. You're always laughing. You're incredibly personable. And you know what? Like every journey that you're doing has been all about fun. Right?
Right, but I'll also speak to that. When it comes to the attitude and, you know, I do enjoy life. When I wake up in the morning, I am that happy person, and it's not a happy pill. It's just, you know, when you move into this whole area of learning how to eat properly and working out on a daily, you get all these endorphins, which, you know, you don't, like, it reduces your anxiety, you know, it just... It increases your flexibility, you know, it strengthens the mind. It definitely, as funny as this sounds, definitely helps with the memory as well. Like, I mean, there's tons of benefits, right? So, and like I said, I've been practicing this for a long time, and not that I wasn't positive before, but just the whole nutrition and the physical activity, weightlifting in particular, has really increased the positive attitude.
Yeah, and we're going to touch base on future vlogs and just like every step, what we do, how we do it. I mean, right now it's just a background on us. You know, get you guys to get to know us. We've got, you know, a lot of people that are going to, you know, hopefully we impact a lot of people. I know you already do. Yeah. And just telling a little bit about you. I mean, you, us, everything. I mean,
I also just wanted to speak to the whole part of like I guess the progression of it all. It really just takes time, and it helps build what's the word that I'm looking for? Just the confidence in yourself, right? But
you know what, like, you know, me stepping from the outside, because I'm not I don't work out like you work out. Okay, let's put it that way. But but you know, everything is a little piece of the pie, right? So you're not just fitness, you're friends, family, love, fun, adventure.
I'm all about fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we went on vacation the week before your thing, right? So many other people would be pulling their hair out.
Well, you know, and that's just it. It's a very stressful, because you're so restricted and so limited as to what you can eat, what you can drink, what you can do, because, and I say what you can do because, you know, I was prepping for a competition. I'm in, you know, Scottsdale, Arizona, which was absolutely beautiful. But, you know, I had to, I couldn't sit in the sun because I didn't want tan marks.
But you did. Right? You did sit in the sun, but you did.
I monitored. Yeah, it's all about balance for sure. Absolutely.
I think you're going to see where we're yin and yang here.
Yeah, but it's also changing your state of mind and how you approach every situation, right? I could have went to Scottsdale and been all in a pissy mood because, you know, I couldn't eat what you guys were eating. And, you know, and I didn't limit you guys either. And I didn't tell you guys where you could and couldn't eat.
No,
right?
Absolutely.
As long as I was fueled, we're all good. But I mean, it has a lot to do with your attitude going into everything that you explore in life. So you always need that healthy attitude, right? Because what you need to remember is that you're the one that's choosing this. You're the one that's decided to go down this path. A really amazing woman said that to me while I was at the gym. I love her so much. Anyways, she guides me with all her heart. And so anyways, it's all about having the right attitude.
Yeah, and more importantly,
and embracing the experience.
And more importantly, like I say, it's more than just fitness, right? I mean,
sure. Yeah.
I mean, let's mean, loving life, being happy.
Yeah.
I mean, something that, you know, we could share is that we've been together for 20 years now, right? So I mean, keeping that happy and healthy, it hasn't always been great. We always just, we're any couple, you have to work at it. We have we have our ups and downs, but we continue to try to grow.
Right.
That smile. And also, we're both in our 40s. And you have two, well, we have, you gave birth to two beautiful boys. Yeah. So you're a mom, you know, you're in your 40s. I'm in my 40s. You know, people think we're in our 20s, but you know, it's that was a bit of a far stretch. But you know what? We organically, we're happy. We don't shit on life. We're not looking at the negative of anything. We try to look at the positive of anything, and you know, let's be happy and always move towards that goal, right? But and not to have these unrealistic standards of what we want in life. But you know, we're going to talk about so many different fun subjects and just really have a lot of fun with this vlog and make sure that it's not just pointed in one direction. But we want to help you guys. We want to share with you guys, not necessarily help. I mean, this is not a self-help thing, but it's just, you know, it's something fun and just learning about our lives and learning about, you know, if we can help people out there and make them happier, you know, some of the most impactful messages that I get and that you get is when somebody messages me back and they say, thank you, that really changed my life. Yeah. And it could be something, the simplest, stupidest,
that's right.
Not stupidest, but simplest thing that we say, you know, why don't you, have you ever thought of this, right? And it makes their mind think and changes their direction. I mean,
their whole perspective on it.
So, and I mean, we both touch on different subjects, but I think, you know, it's everything. It's not just fitness. It's not just love and romance. It's not just career. It's not just personal.
Not just parenting, because I think that's one thing that many married couples get caught up in when it comes to life, is that's just their main focus, is just parenting. And what you need to realize is there's so much more. And, you know, part of the equation to having a successful life, successful family, is making sure that your relationship with your partner is solid, that you're doing things for yourself. Women in particular, who always tend to put themselves on the back burner, which, you know, is mistake number one. But
like I you know, we both believe that, because our kids are going to love us forever. They're our kids. They're stuck here, and right, they're stuck with us. They're always our kids. But you know what? Like, you may not always be my wife. I might not always be my husband, or your husband, right? So it's always like, you know what? Like, you come first before the kids, right? But for me, and then the kids see that balance. They want that security. They love to see mom and dad hugging and kissing, and you know, whatever the case. But because that's their security, right? So we see so many people that, you know, they come home from work. What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing because you said the whole like hugsies and kisses, and I'm like we're true, like, I'm like
You're the opposite.
Hippie Le Pew, right? So
yeah, you don't like nice.
I'm the cat, he's the skunk, and I'm like, oh, enough.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that, the love language, and another knowing what pushes your buttons, what pushes my buttons, and what pushes your partner. But one of the things that so many people do is they come home from work and they greet their dog before their spouse. Yeah. Right? Or turn on the computer and check their emails or whatever, man. Like, run and find your spouse. I mean, that's the first thing I do, is I run and find you, right? You're sometimes pushing me off, get off of me, but you know, it's so important, right? And you know, make sure that,
because that's not my language of love, right?
But make sure your partner's number one. Don't show them that the dog is more important, or the children are more important. I mean, the children are very important, but for them, seeing that your spouse and your husband or your wife is the most important thing on earth. Yeah, it's so incredibly important.
For sure. Right? And you know, for anybody who's you know decides today or tomorrow or a month or a year from now to start making some changes that'll benefit you and your family, you need to know that whenever you're moving in a different direction, it's always going to feel awkward and uncomfortable. But it's the daily practice and the constant, and eventually it will just become yours, right? Like you'll completely embrace it. It's just like, you know, when it comes to relationships and and you're trying to reconnect with your partner, at first it's going to feel a little forced, a little uncomfortable, because you haven't connected like that in so long. So your focus has been elsewhere. So it's going to feel that way. Just like when you're hitting the gym.
Yeah, you fake it till you make it.
You fake it till you make it, you know. Like, I know for myself, I love the gym that I go to, but I have to say, it took 2 years of a friend trying to convince me to go. Number one, it was across town, and number two, I didn't lift weights, and it was very intimidating going in there because I knew there was like some really awesome athletes that would go there, and they knew the drill, they knew how to work out, and it was just very new for me. So it's something that I was, you know, very reluctant to do. And, you know, but I just did it. One day I just went with a girlfriend, I went to the gym, and you know, every day it just got easier and easier until now. And I consider it my second home, really.
Yeah, and this is your sanity. It's like
it is.
When you come home and you're pissy pants, it's like you go out there and work out,
Me?
right?
Pissy pants?
Yeah, you need to burn off some steam to be in your happy place. And
just to be clear, within this relationship, I am the moody one. I am the pissy pant. And it's very rare where Darren gets into a mood, but should he ever, I'll be like, what is going on?
Yeah.
You adjust that attitude.
Yeah. I mean, even for me, when I do work out, I feel great in my brain, but I mean, obviously I don't do it enough. But you never went with this to do it as you never went to go win. You never did this. You did this for yourself, and then
I never went. And then I never went there with any, you know, ideas to get into the whole world of competing. I just went there 1,000% for myself. In addition to that, like, I still compete 1,000% for myself. Like I said, I did the whole Sudbury Classics. The next progression is to go to the provincials. And the reason why I decided to put that on hold is because I had a realization for myself, you know, which has been happening over the course of a year, is that I love control. And I'm very uncomfortable going into anything that I don't know everything about. So, and as, you know, for some people they think, well, you've already did it. Obviously it's, you know, it's the same, just bigger. Well, I don't work that way. I wish I was that person that could nail stuff out. I'm just not. Like, I can do a project, and then I take a step back, I reassess, do what I need to do my homework, and then when I decide to make it like my focus, I feel like I have my armor on. Like, I know what I'm doing. I know what the game plan is. I'm strong in heart, mind, body, and soul, right?
And I'm just looking at our time here, but I'm going to start cutting you off because you have an announcement to make, and that was the reason for this. We were talking about, you know, who we are. We already said we are. We're 20 years of choking each other, but we're still happy. We're still in love. But we're going to talk about so much fun. But you know what? You did it. You won 4 major awards or wins or whatever, and 2 overall wins. You swept it at 40. You know, I'm not going to say the total age, will probably kill me, but you know, you're over 40. You have 2 kids, and you swept it, right? So you qualified for provincials, and that was a big deal. And you know, you won the regional, right? And there was people from all over from Ottawa that came to this. So we still had some not international, but provincial competition here. Now the big one is in Toronto. It's supposed to be the show, right? And you're going to do it next week, and then you made a big decision. So what is that big decision? So,
you know, it's funny because after the Sudbury Classics, I was on a total high, and I was like going to provincials, and I felt really great about it. And then, you know, it was probably the beginning of this week, I started to feel the crash of everything, and I realized after talking to my trainer yesterday, you know, he's amazing.
But your crash, you know, I'm cutting you off a little bit. I don't want anybody to, because so many people crash because they.
I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I just want to explain it.
Emotionally.
Yeah, but it wasn't a crash from like you know, so many people deprive themselves from so much, right?
Yeah,
no. Like what?
You know.
You eat this way. All the time. So it wasn't, you weren't restricting yourself. You weren't like cutting.
I still had my cheats, and I still enjoyed. Like I never not said no to myself.
Like the day of the
within reason.
The day of the competition, you had, you know, you
had chocolate and wine.
You had chocolate. You had wine. You had coffee with cream, right?
Yeah.
Because your body's been used to this, but I mean,
Right.
if you cut your body off, you know, a lot of people were not going to agree with me that I was in this competition.
Yeah.
If you cut your body off, I'm sorry. Like I've seen a lot of these competitors, and they turn into their brain doesn't function. They're
crazy pants.
You're crazy pants, right? So you live this healthy lifestyle. You were having wine before the competition just to, you know, love life. I mean, you're not doing it to excess or anything like that.
Yeah, within, like, I know my body and I know what, like, I can also restrict myself, right? I'm not like, oh, guzzle a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
No, that's,
No.
don't paint the wrong picture. So it's just, you know, I had the flexibility, and the reason why I was able to do certain things is you know, I always tell people who message me about nutrition, you need an intimate relationship between you and food in your body. That is so super important. And so many people get into, you know, different activities and they forget about that part. And that part is key. Once you know, I don't know what type of relationship people have with food, but if it's bad, you got to fix that. You got to figure that out.
Yeah, but to get back on something.
Oh,
so you quit.
What? I quit?
That's the clickbait, right? No. What happened? What happened was you qualified to go to provincials.
Yeah.
Right. So and you know, first place you qualified.
Yeah.
You're going to provincials. You're going to the big show, and then you decided that
I'm not going to do it this year. And the reasons for that is because I need that bird's eye view. I'm still going to go. I'm just not going to compete. And I'm one of those people that loves to assess her situation. And
but you're going to compete next year.
Oh, at 1,000%.
So
I'm just going to do it in steps because that's how I work.
Yeah, and so many people are like, they want to climb that mountain today.
And that's okay though.
But it's like, you have unrealistic goals, right? They want the best job coming out of school. Right? They want the biggest house, the best marriage, the kids, everything right today.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like, for our relationship, it took us 20 years to get here.
Yeah.
Right? And like every day it gets better. I mean, we were like the stock market. Sometimes we have crashes.
It's shit.
But we know
it tanks.
But we know that eventually it's just going to get better, right? So I know, you know, knowing who you are and knowing how we operate, you're going to be even freaking better next year than you are this year. And
I mean, that's my goal, right?
Well, you're going to do it because you're going to show. Because there's one thing for sure: you show up every day.
Yep.
And you know what? Like, it doesn't matter where we are. I mean, we're on vacation. You're like, I have to work out. I mean, the days that you miss working out, it's like, oh my god, it's like it's not good. It's not healthy for you, right?
Right.
So we're going to continue to grow, right? And you know what? If you're not growing, you're dying.
That's right.
Right. So we're going to have a lot of fun with this. I think we want you guys all to like it, share it, comment on it. We'll answer. We'll talk about where we're going to go. We'll talk about some of the stuff, but we're going to have some fun with this.
Yeah.
And I hope you guys
we're not
enjoy
just going to show you the pretty stuff. You're going to see the crap stuff too, right? Because that's all part of the process. And I like to show people.
We don't have any crap. We're like perfect.
The reality of everything.
Right?
Perfectly flawed.
Perfectly flawed. Right? So you're going to see the truth of everything. We'll share it all, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Right, for sure.
So
anyways, that's my whole revelation and for myself and moving forward with my goals. And that's not to say that like from now till next year's provincials, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to do some other shows in between. It's just provincials is my big one. The one that I'm gonna go for gold.
Yeah, and you know what? We have friends from all over the world, right? So we want to share with you guys that we don't live in a big city. We live in a small city. So I mean, I don't want anybody to make excuses that you know we can't do that because we live here, we live there, right? We're not in LA, we're not in Toronto. We live in a small town, and you could do all this. You could do anything that you set your life on, and whatever those challenges are, share them.
Yeah,
you know,
and just maximizing on your resources, which is huge, right?
Yeah,
like,
and we've all been there, right?
Yeah.
We being where we are now, it's like we see patterns and trends with friends, family, loved ones, and we can literally predict, you know, you're going to like this, so we can literally predict when a relationship is going to be in trouble, just we see how people are interacting with each other, right? And it's about
This
balance.
is when I get nervous.
Yeah, you're nervous.
Dear Lord, what is he gonna say?
Well, it's about balance and it's about acceptance, but we'll talk about that in another episode. So like it, share it, comment. You know, we'd love to hear your feedback, and we promise that we'll continue to do these no matter what. Okay, love you guys.
All right.
Kat, Darren, bye.
Peace.